From a team that can call themselves world champs to a few residents who deserve your congrats. These stories and so much more coming up next on Richland Now. Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Richland Now. I'm Gail Everett. On February 16th, City of Richland staff said goodbye and happy retirement to one of our favorite coworkers. Development Services Manager Rick Simon called it a career after 18 productive years with the City of Richland. Rick was instrumental in the completion and adoption of the 2005 and the 2017 comprehensive plans. These documents continue to guide the responsible growth of our community for years to come. Rick also worked with numerous developers and helped create two very large planned communities. Both Badger Mountain South and the Horn Rapids residential area will continue to support the city's residential needs for many years. On behalf of the City of Richland and staff, we sincerely appreciate all of your excellent work throughout the years. Best wishes in your future endeavors. Well, a prized park possession is back where it belongs, and the story of its return is quite fascinating. In the summer of 2016, members of the Mid-Columbia Symphony and both the Parks and Arts Commissions joined in Howard Amon Park to celebrate the installation of a unique musical instrument called an marimba. The instrument was enjoyed by many and filled the park with beautiful music. Unfortunately, it was stolen from the park in September of 2016. Flash forward to November 2017, Kennewick Arts Commission Chair Jason Watson is doing something he does quite regularly, and that's searching Craigslist for percussion instruments. Amazingly, he found this stolen marimba for sale for just $20. Jason bought the instrument, turned it over to the Richland Police Department, and now the marimba has been reinstalled in Howard Amon Park. Currently, the Richland Arts Commission is exploring various funding sources to purchase two additional instruments which would be installed near the marimba, building on the vision of the Miracle Musical Plaza. What a great story. 2 of the 5 softball fields at Columbia Playfield were reconditioned recently. First, city staff renovated the irrigation system on both fields. Next, a contractor came in and phrase mowed the fields. Phrase mowing is a process used to remove all existing plant material. Then they used a box scraper to laser grade the fields completely flat. Lastly, brand new sod was installed. The result is 2 brand new, completely level fields. City crews also added a new concrete walkway between 2 of the dugouts. At its February 20th meeting, Richland City Council accepted a large donation from James House to renovate the basketball courts at Columbia Playfields. Mr. House lives in Spokane, but grew up in Richland and played basketball for Cole High in the early 1960s. On a recent trip back to Richland, he visited the courts and was saddened by their condition. He saw an opportunity to get involved, and he has agreed to donate $50,000 to the city for the rehabilitation of the courts. City staff believes the rehabilitation will begin in March and will take about 3 weeks to complete. A big thank you to Mr. House for your kind donation to our community. Well, the 5th field at Columbia Playfields, which is also the newest field, will receive new LED lights and aluminum bleachers with fabric covers, thanks to grant funding. The grant is for $150,000, and the city will contribute $225,000 in cash and labor for the project. Lighting the field will help attract larger and more softball tournaments to our city, and it'll also allow the games to be played in the summertime after the temperatures cool at night. Well, Sean Clark, Water Department plant operator, recently showcased the City of Richland's values when he awarded his 2 city manager medallions to fellow employees whom he felt represented what the medallions stood for. Clark, who is leaving the city to take a job with the city of Garfield, Washington, received 2 medallions during his tenure with the city. The first was from former city manager John Darrington, who awarded Clark the medallion after Clark worked tirelessly to return a found wallet to a citizen. The second city manager medallion was given to Clark from city manager Cindy Rentz, who presented the award to Clark for his bravery and helping to alert and assist a family whose house he discovered on fire during an early morning shift. In a speech to his fellow employees on his last day of work, Clark passed on the two medallions to Water Operations Supervisor Brent Andrews, whom he cited as being a mentor and influence on his career, and Water Department Support Specialist Annette Melville, whom he helped train and whom he believes embodies the values of teamwork, integrity, and excellence. Well, the Queensgate improvement projects are scheduled to begin construction this spring. These efforts will address existing traffic challenges on Queensgate Drive, south of the I-182 interchange. The projects include construction of a roundabout at the Queensgate Drive Columbia Park Trail intersection and will extend Columbia Park Trail to the west, connecting to Jericho Court. The project will also widen Queensgate Drive between Keene Road and the eastbound I-182 ramp terminals to 4 lanes with a curbed center left turn median. In addition, a new westbound right turn lane on Keene Road will be constructed. In partnership with the Washington State Department of Transportation, an additional roundabout will replace the existing signalized intersection at the eastbound ramp terminals on I-182 at Queensgate Drive. And if you're interested in staying up to date with this project and others, you're encouraged to sign up to receive automatic city updates by visiting the link below and also following our Facebook and Twitter pages. Well, the Veterans of Foreign Wars announced that Hanford High School senior Hannah Doyle is the winner of the Washington State Voice of Democracy audio essay contest. In her winning entry, Doyle addressed the theme of this year's contest, American History, Our Hope for the Future. Out of 40,000 entries from across the nation, Doyle is now one of 53 national finalists who are receiving an all-expense paid trip to Washington, D.C. on March 3rd through the 7th. During the trip, she will tour D.C., be honored by the VFW and its auxiliary, and receive her portion of $154,000 in national awards, the top scholarship being $30,000. You can read her essay by visiting the Richland School District's webpage at the link below. Well, the Hanford High School cheer squads brought home some heavy hardware back to Richland recently. Hanford's non-tumbling team won the Washington State Cheer Championships, and their tumbling team placed second. Both teams earned trophies and advanced to the National High School Cheerleading Championships in Orlando, Florida. The competition was fierce, but when the smoke cleared, the Hanford Falcons varsity team was named the Super Large Varsity Non-Tumbling World Champions. What an accomplishment. Congratulations to these amazing athletes. Thank you, Tri-Cities. Special Olympic Washington is extremely grateful to have your support of the 17,500 athletes in Washington State. 320 of you joined us and were freezing for a reason last month at the annual Polar Plunge in support of Special Olympics Washington. Collectively, nearly $65,000 has been raised so far in conjunction with this year's heroic effort. These funds will directly transform the lives of individuals with intellectual disabilities through the power of sport. If you missed the plunge but would like to donate to the Special Olympics, you can. Donations can be made by visiting the link below. They look forward to seeing you next year. Well, if you would like more information on any of the stories you have seen here, visit the City of Richland's webpage at the link at the bottom of your screen. And if you're not interacting with us on social media, I strongly encourage you to log on and like the City of Richland on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Gail Everett. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Richland Now.